Good morning. My name is John Lovell, and I'm the legislative counsel for the California Narcotic Officers Association. I've represented their interests for nearly 2 decades. Very proud to represent the organization. It's an organization that not only battles for safety and well-being of people today, but also for safety and well-being of children, of people tomorrow. It's the present and the future. We are very alarmed at the current trend toward normalization of unfettered drug use. And a good exemplar of that normalization trend is found in Senate Bill 57 and in Senate Bill 519. Senate Bill 57 purports to create so-called safe injection sites. And the assertion by the proponents is that safe injection sites are essential to prevent the tragedy of accidental overdose. And that's certainly a noble aspiration. But the problem is that, as Dr. Lev and I were talking earlier, and she's looked at the analysis and has found that it's based on inaccuracies, and the inaccuracies are major. The fact is that injection sites result not in the reduction of accidental overdose deaths, but in their tragic increase. Case in point, in British Columbia, the British Columbia Coroner's Office, and they're not advocates on either side of the injection site issue. They're like baseball umpires. They just call balls and strikes. And what the report from the British Columbia Coroner's Office shows is that in the 18 years that British Columbia, that Vancouver has had its injection site, the injection overdose deaths has gone up 1,000%. And that's the pattern all around the world, because whenever you have an injection site, you have a magnet effect where dealers come into the area and they sell their drugs. And most addicts don't use the injection site very much anyway. They simply, if you're an addict and you've got your drugs and you've got your needles clean or dirty, you're going to shoot up right there in the alley. And that's what happens in injection sites all over the world. They result in a tragic increase in overdose deaths. The other false assertion of proponents of Senate Bill 57 is that injection sites are a pathway to drug treatment. And that is just simply not true. And let me give you an example and invite you to call someone, you folks in the press. In Vancouver, in Canada, the iconic figure in drug treatment programs and residential drug treatment is a gentleman named David Berner. And he is well known, highly respected in the discipline of drug treatment programs. He will tell you that in the 18 years that Vancouver has had its injection site, they have not sent a single person, not a single person, to the Canadian residential treatment programs. And these are highly respected treatment programs. And because Canada is a single payer country, this is treatment available at no cost. Yet the injection sites have not sent a single person. Now, I will invite you to telephone David Berner. And here's his number, 604-765-5275. And just identify yourself and ask him how many patients the Vancouver injection site has sent him. And he will tell you. Once again, the number 604-765-5275. Senate Bill 519, the so-called hallucinogenic bill, is also fraught with problems. First of all, Senate Bill 519 permits the sharing of hallucinogenics. Now, there's no pre-testing of the products before they are shared. There is no safety screening at all. And so what you are doing is you are compounding the accidental overdose just pandemic that has occurred, where drugs are freely shared back and forth, and it is a pathway to death. The other piece of Senate Bill 519 is that it permits, again, the unfettered availability of LSD. Now, let me tell you something about LSD that the proponents of the bill won't tell you. LSD, in addition to the present day impacts that it has on a user, also has the dynamic of flashbacks. So I know, for example, of a situation where a woman, when she was 18 years old, without her knowledge, was given LSD by her so-called friends at a party. She didn't know about it, and they just wanted to see what would happen to her. Well, she was hospitalized for 2 months, but then thereafter, she had flashbacks after flashbacks after flashbacks. She's now in her 70s, and she still gets flashbacks. If you just Google, just for the fun of it, go Google LSD and flashbacks. And you know something? You will have 279,000 hits. Yet the proponents of SB 519 will not tell you a word about that, nor are there any safeguards. These two exemplars show the looming tragedy of normalization of unfettered drug use and drug distribution. Let me close my remarks and pass this commentary over to Glenn Walsh.